When I saw the trailer for this movie, I was like, yeah, me and my dad are going to this. Every now and then it's like, look, I love my dad, but going to the movies with him can be a little bit of a chore. It's like he's a little bit sluggish. He kind of like makes sound during the movie, but like every now and then I'm like, there's something he needs to see. This was on that list. So today I was like, oh shit, let me ask my dad. My dad said yes. We get to the movie within like 5 minutes. I see him cheesing ear to ear, and I'm like, yep, me too, buddy. This is one of the best films I've seen all year. I'm certain it's gonna crack my top five, not just for the first 6 months, but for the year. I don't think I will experience something so unique and so like unapologetically itself for quite some time. This is one of the best action movies I've seen probably in my life. Certainly will be one of the better action movies of this decade once it's all said and done. And I'm just honored to be able to see it in theaters. But this movie, The Furious, is about a nonverbal father whose daughter is the latest victim in a child trafficking ring. The police are corrupt, so he cannot team up with the police. Instead, he pairs up with this husband of a missing journalist, and together they try to find the man's missing daughter and the man's missing wife. So it's a tag team, but it's a circumstantial tag team. Like these guys don't know each other. They have to learn to trust each other. But once they trust each other, it's on. They are against the world. They are trying to liberate these kids. These kids are being snatched from the streets of whatever country or city we're in. I really don't know what country or city we're in. We're not in China because they reference China as an external place in this. I don't know where we are. It doesn't matter though. It's very grim. Like visually looking, it's very like working class, I'll say. But also like the style of the movie does not let in a lot of bright colors, and the themes and tones of the movie are very dark. You're talking about child trafficking, the potential violence against reporters, so obviously like corruption from the police as well. A lot of stuff is happening here, and this movie is unapologetically itself, and I mean that in the best way possible. Hong Kong movies are often like filled to the rim with action and stellar fight choreography and physicality. This movie is no exception. Like this movie is brutal. The sounds are very emphasized and very exaggerated. Like every thud and punch and crunch from a bone, a hammer hitting a skull, like everything sounds excessive in the most beautiful way possible. Like if you like video games and you play video games with like a good sound system or headsets on, you hear everything. This is that. You hear everything, even things that wouldn't even need to make a sound. Like one point, this man crushes his foot, therefore is bleeding from his foot, and there's squishing sounds every time he steps because it's like, yeah, why not? This movie is very animated. I don't watch anime, but I do feel like anime must have the same appeal where like none of this stuff is possible, which is why it's exceptional to watch because these are real looking people doing this. They're real actors, obviously, but like the stuff they're doing is not physically possible. And it's also important to note that this movie does abandon physics and anatomy very early. Like it's clear that hey, these things that exist in the world in which you're watching this aren't relevant to the world we're portraying this in. Therefore, just have a good time and realize that you're going to see very violent things for a very long time with very few breaks in between. And that's why we think you're here. Therefore, you will be happy. And I am happy. I am ecstatic about this movie. I don't really have a lot of complaints about it. The complaints I have are just more of a lost in translation sort of thing. Like I don't watch a lot of Hong Kong movies, but dubbing is a thing here. I saw some people online suggest maybe like AI dub, where like an AI system, is doing it instead of an actor doing it. I don't know how that works. But the dubbing was not great. And it's weird because at the early part of the movie, like the first half hour, you're doing a lot of subtitles. And I was agreeing with my dad. I was like, yeah, this is fine for subtitles. Like, I don't mind subtitles. It makes sense. This is a foreign film. And foreign speakers, they're not foreign speakers. They don't speak English. So, therefore, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're speaking what they speak. I'm sorry. I'm ignorant. But the point is, it made sense. And it's like, no, we're going to have villain exposition and monologues and dub them over in a way that's like very clunky, and then it's gonna sound goofy when a guy's like, I thought I was gonna get my promotion, and their mouth's still moving, like that sort of like old kung fu movie cliche. But this movie's awesome. Okay, what you're not gonna get here is a ton of emotion. I'll be honest, though, there are moments where I'm like, wow, that was brutal. Its brutality is unapologetic. Therefore, there's some emotion attached to that as an audience member, but you're not getting something that's going to be a tearjerker unless you need to go see a therapist. Like honestly, there was a point where I was fighting back tears. I needed to talk to my therapist. Okay, so yeah, it's just awesome for American audiences because we don't get this stuff often. Gratuitous violence via grapples, fistfights, and creative use of improvised weapons. Like, yes, hammers, chain from a bike, all sorts of things being thrown. It's just like basically guys are tossing each other around. And then what's near me that I can grab to throw at the guy? And then what can he grab to throw at me? And it's all of that stuff. You have a couple. If this were a video game, which it very much is video game like, you have a couple like specialized villains that have their little niche. One guy has a bow and arrow, and he is probably my favorite villain of the movie because it's like, man, if this guy wasn't doing what he's doing, he'd be cool to root for, or play in a video game at least. And then there's another big husky guy, and it's kind of like an old cliche, but he's a ditzy dude, and he's a bit of the comedic relief at times. There's this Chinese cowboy where the guy wears like a cowboy hat. He doesn't have a lot of physicality to him, so he carries a gun, but not a lot of guns in the movie, which is something I really like. Me and my dad agreed. Not a lot of guns in the movie, and that benefited the movie because the execution of the action is so pure. It's like, it is what it is, man, and what it is excellent. And I don't know what else to say about this movie. Any like ancillary things that don't really matter too much to a movie like this, like music. I don't remember any music. It kind of sounded like free domain music. There is this weird, interesting thing with the action where it does feel sped up in a very digital way, and there's also some CGI. Like, it's hit or miss. It's not dependent on CGI, but they try to use it to enhance some of the violence or some of the fluidity of the action, and it doesn't always land. But it's never to the point where it takes you out the movie. You notice it, but you're not mad at it because you're like, what you're doing here is good enough, and you still have good like grace with me. So I'm going to continue watching this with complete and utter commitment. Like, I'm committed to what this is doing. So 10 out of 10. Honestly, I don't think I've seen a better action movie than this in the last 10 years. Like, I really don't think I've seen a better movie. I've seen an action movie with a better story. But I don't know. I haven't seen a better action movie. Like, my dad was trying to compare this to Kill Bill in a way because he was like, they're both revenge tales. And I was like, yeah, Kill Bill's like a better movie, clearly. And it does more interesting things visually even. But obviously the story is more compelling. But this has better action. And this is honestly almost 2 hours of pure action. There's very few conversations to be had. And I don't know if I can pronounce names, but I do want to say everyone in this movie is absolutely amazing, and I can't praise the physicality of it enough. Please go see it. I mean, pay for it. Like, pay for this. I'm going to buy this movie. 10 out of 10.